Sneezing, or sternutation, is a reflexive and highly coordinated biological response that plays a crucial role in maintaining respiratory health. It serves as the body's first line of defense against airborne irritants, preventing harmful particles from entering deeper into the lungs. While often dismissed as a simple bodily function, sneezing is an intricate interplay of sensory reception, neural transmission, muscular coordination, and immune response. It involves complex networks of neurons, neurotransmitters, and immune cells that work together to initiate and execute the reflex. In this scientific deep dive, we will explore every aspect of sneezing, from its molecular triggers and anatomical structures to its biomechanical force and societal implications. The goal is to provide a comprehensive understanding of sneezing through the lens of physiology, neurology, immunology, physics, history, medicine, and epidemiology. The nasal cavity, the first line of defense. The nasal cavity is a complex structure designed for air filtration, humidification, and olfactory detection. It is lined with a specialized mucous membrane composed of ciliated epithelial cells, tiny hair-like structures that move trapped particles out of the airway. Goblet cells produce mucus to trap dust, allergens, and pathogens. Nasal-associated lymphoid tissue, or NALT, part of the immune system, responsible for recognizing and responding to airborne pathogens. Turbinates, curved bony structures that regulate airflow, optimizing filtration. These structures work together to detect irritants and prevent harmful substances from reaching the lungs. The role of the trigeminal nerve in sneezing. The trigeminal nerve, also known as cranial nerve 5, plays a central role in the sneezing reflex. It is a mixed nerve with three main branches: ophthalmic, or V1, which provides sensory input from the upper face, including the eyes and forehead; maxillary, or V2, which detects stimuli from the midface and nasal mucosa; and mandibular, or V3, which relays signals from the lower face and jaw. When an irritant activates sensory receptors in the nasal epithelium, afferent signals travel via the trigeminal nerve to the medulla oblongata, where the sneezing reflex is coordinated. Respiratory and accessory muscles involved in sneezing. Sneezing engages an array of muscle groups, including the diaphragm, which contracts to build up air pressure in the lungs; intercostal muscles, which assist in chest expansion and contraction; abdominal muscles, generating additional force for expulsion; pharyngeal and laryngeal muscles, regulating airflow and vocal cord positioning; and the orbicularis oculi, which closes the eyes involuntarily, hence why we often shut our eyes when sneezing. Physiology of sneezing, a step-by-step breakdown. Sensory detection of irritants involves common irritants like dust, pollen, smoke, strong odors, pollutants, viruses, and allergens. Receptor activation occurs when nasal irritants stimulate chemoreceptors and mechanoreceptors in the epithelium. Neural transmission and reflex activation follow. The afferent pathway involves sensory signals traveling via the trigeminal nerve to the sneezing center in the brainstem. Processing in the medulla oblongata coordinates motor responses. Finally, the efferent pathway relays the signal back to the respiratory muscles, initiating the sneeze. The expulsion mechanism starts with the inhalation phase, where a deep breath fills the lungs. This is followed by the glottis closure phase, involving the temporary closure of the vocal cords. The expulsion phase then occurs, with the rapid opening of the glottis, forcefully expelling air and irritants. The speed of a sneeze is remarkable, with air expelled at velocities of 100 miles per hour, or 161 kilometers per hour, or more. The physics and biomechanics of sneezing. Airflow dynamics and droplet dispersion. Sneezing generates turbulent airflow, propelling droplets up to 26 feet or 8 meters. Aerosolization of pathogens contributes to disease transmission. Force analysis of sneezing. The pressure generated in the lungs can exceed 1.5 pounds per square inch. Facial muscle contraction strength plays a role in the velocity of expelled particles. Medical conditions related to sneezing. Chronic sneezing disorders, non-allergic rhinitis, frequent sneezing unrelated to allergies, atrophic rhinitis, degeneration of the nasal mucosa. HU syndrome, also known as photic sneeze reflex, is a genetic condition causing sneezing in response to bright light. Now let's talk about the pharmacology of sneezing. Antihistamines block histamine receptors to reduce sneezing. Decongestants reduce nasal swelling by constricting blood vessels. Corticosteroids suppress inflammatory responses in allergic rhinitis. Historical and cultural perspectives on sneezing. Ancient beliefs and superstitions. Greek and Roman views. Sneezing was seen as an omen or divine sign. In medieval Europe, the phrase "God bless you" originated during the plague to wish health upon sneezers. Sneezing in different cultures. In Japanese culture, a sneeze is thought to mean someone is talking about you. Hindu beliefs hold that sneezing before an important event is considered inauspicious. Epidemiology, sneezing, and disease transmission. Pathogens in sneeze droplets can remain airborne for hours. Common diseases spread by sneezing include influenza, COVID-19, tuberculosis, and the common cold. Public health measures to reduce sneezing-related transmission. Mask usage reduces droplet dispersion. Proper sneezing etiquette, like sneezing into elbows instead of hands, is essential. Ventilation improvements reduce airborne pathogen accumulation indoors. Fun facts and myths about sneezing. Your heart does not stop when you sneeze. Sneezing while driving at high speeds is dangerous. A single sneeze at 60 miles per hour means driving blind for about 50 feet. Holding in a sneeze can cause damage to the inner ear or rupture blood vessels. Conclusion. Sneezing is far more than just a reflex. It is a sophisticated physiological process that plays a vital role in respiratory health, immune defense, and disease transmission. Its neurological complexity, biomechanical force, and epidemiological impact make it one of the most intriguing biological phenomena. Whether viewed through a medical, historical, or cultural lens, sneezing remains a subject of ongoing scientific study and public interest.